I'm Christopher Kay. I'm the music director of 107.9 The End and also Star 106.5. I help out at one of the other stations here. And then I'm on the air, the afternoon on-air personality, or whatever you want to call me. I'm on from 2 to 6 on 107.9 The End. Just listening to the radio, and I've been always kind of addicted to the charts. I would always listen to the countdown because that was kind of a big deal back in the 80s and 90s. Casey Kasem would do it and everything, so I always thought that was cool. And yeah, and then it just kind of happened that I was able to get an internship. I grew up in Yuba City. There's a tiny little town up there, a tiny station there in Yuba City, Marysville, and I started off as an intern there and then kind of worked my way up to various radio stations in Northern California and then ended up here. So I've been here over 16 years, which is crazy. So I did the night show at first, 7 to midnight, for about 4 years. Yeah, about 4 years. And now I've been doing the afternoon show since 2002. So we're over 12 years just doing the exact same thing. So people are used to me. Yeah. Well, there's so many different parts of my job, which is fascinating. Number one is the music and kind of picking the music, because as music director, my boss, who's the program director, that's kind of the boss of all the radio stations. So once a week we have a music meeting and we kind of discuss what songs to start playing, what songs to play more, what songs to play less. You know, of course, getting to interview celebrities every now and then is kind of fun, you know, going to concerts and they'll come through town and get to interview them, and that's always fun. So a lot of good perks to this job. I didn't know. It's funny thinking that back then, being from Chico, that because all my friends were up there, I was going to a good church up there too, so I had a good core group of friends, and it was a tough decision leaving. I mean, I knew professionally I wanted to do it, but that was kind of leaving my comfort zone, and I didn't really know anyone in Sacramento. I had like one friend from high school that lived in Sacramento. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see you a lot. But it actually was kind of a tough decision to make the move. Looking back, I'm like, how was that even tough? Obviously, this was the right move. But when you're really, ready to make that first big step out, you're like, okay, I hope this is right. I was interested in so many things I didn't know. I did some theater in high school and college, even some opera. I played piano. I didn't really expect that to be a career. Both of my parents were teachers, so I kind of thought, hey, if not that teacher was going to be a fallback kind of thing, because teaching is important. But I always could see myself doing that if other things didn't pan out. But yeah, I mean, I started, I was an intern at 18, and they ended up hiring me within a few months to work that midnight to 6 shift. So I was already working part-time pretty early, and I'm like, all right, let's see how far this goes. And my parents weren't super thrilled with it at first. They're like, can you make a career in radio? And sure enough, here I am 20 years later making pretty decent. I'm not rich or anything, but you work your way up, work hard, and there's ways to make good money. So my recommendations are, number one, be an intern. So that kind of gets your foot in the door. A lot of our interns here have been hired to do various, not so much maybe on-air positions, although intern Kevin did get hired, but we have a lot of interns that do a lot of other things in promotions and things like that did start off as interns. Or number two, go to a college that has a radio station. That's good. That's a good way to get that on-air experience without someone having to pay you, people that aren't willing to pay you. So those are probably the top two things, and just, be entertaining, be real, be good. The radio is always looking for the next big star, and if you've got what it takes, because a lot of people kind of make their break via YouTube, a lot of singers kind of start there. I kind of see the same thing for people, working out in radio it's like at a college radio station or something. Make there be a reason for people to want to listen to you, stand out somehow, and kind of come up with your shtick and be yourself, and if you're good, you'll get noticed.